Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you some new spoiler coverage for Curse of the Frozen Casket. We are talking about darkness cards from the set itself today, starting with our ruler. So let's dig in here. We have Vamir Tawil. You can tell right off the bat that this guy's a Cthulhu dude because his name is incredibly hard to pronounce, and there's really no good pronunciation, and that's kind of well known with Lovecraft-ed lore that you can't really pronounce their names. So pronounce them however you want. VAT, I'm gonna call him that. He is the master of 1,000 keys. I just like the flavor text here. No one but Lunya believed there truly was a thief with a key for every lock. So he's a little gentleman thief here. He's a ruler human, and his judgment is Black X with energized black. He has no ability on his ruler side, but his flip is Yog-Sothoth, the chaos of 1,000 doors. So there he is, big old bad boy Yog-Sothoth back as a human / Cthulhu. 1500, just like when he was a resonator. And he has a new ability called Limit, where limit is X plus 1. And when this card enters your field with X plus 1 limit counters on it. Whenever this card attacks or blocks, remove a limit counter from it. And then at the end of your turn, destroy all resonators with a total cost equal to the number of limit counters on this card. Then remove a limit counter from it. At the beginning of your turn, if there are no limit counters on this card, put it into your ruler area as a ruler. So flip him back, and if you do, you lose 500 life. So this is very interesting. So you pay a lot, or pay a little, to be able to flip him over, and then he kind of is a countdown. So he's doing a lot of field destruction, he can block and attack really quickly and be really strong, but he'll nuke the board, but eventually he's going to run out of limit counters and he's going to flip back over to here, and you're going to have to get some punishment for it. So that's a really cool balance, I think, and it's kind of that trade-off of the Cthulhu kind of stuff. It's like kind of sacrificing and the payment to be able to access their power. I think that's really cool with flavor mechanic. I actually really like this new kind of idea for the Cthulhus. I'm excited to see what else we get from it. So also this artwork is just nuts. So moving into next card, we have an encounter with Cthulhu. It's a 2-drop chant with quick cast, and it says each player banishes a non-Cthulhu resonator they control. I really like the fact that this is in double dark. I like the fact that it's 1 dark, 1 colorless. It essentially says, I don't want to deal with that, and if you're playing it early on, and you're playing more a control build, you're not going to lose as much as this, and it's just going to say, your opponent picks a creature and kills it. But potentially, if there's only like 1 creature left and your opponent's side of the field, then bam, it's already done. And this is like Lunya and Yog-Sothoth in their human forms kind of meeting up. So that's pretty cool. We have the Resonance of Madness. So there's a 1-cost chance, and it's an additional cost to play this card. You have to banish a resonator, so it's 1 cost and it's sacrificing a creature, and it just says destroy target resonator. So again, it's that kind of sacrificing to the power of the Cthulhu to be able to make them work. So that's pretty cool. Then we have the Creature from Chaos, and this is the first time we've seen kind of an effect like this on such a large scale. So it's a 1-drop 2/2. It just says when this card deals damage to a J/resonator, destroy that J/resonator. So we've had this kind of death touch ability before in other creatures, but never something that can just outright kill a J resonator. So this is very, very important. This could potentially be a very good tech card for darkness decks to see in their sideboard and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see this kind of creature-based Jade Ruler hate coming into fruition. We have Azathoth, the Hunter of Reality. He's an 8-drop who has limit 6, so he always has 6 limits, 6 counters when he comes into play. It says if this card would be destroyed, you can remove a limit counter from it instead. If you do, remove all damage from it. So essentially it keeps surviving over and over and over again. Mind you, it's 20/20, so that's huge. And then whenever this card attacks or blocks, you destroy target J/resonator. I'm sorry, what? So he's a nuke on legs, in the fact that every single time he's going to attack or block. So even starting the first turn you put him into play, if he blocks something, 1, probably the thing that he's blocking is going to get killed, and 2, he gets to kill something else. Keep in mind, this is a mandatory effect, so your opponent can possibly play around it and punish you. But worst comes to worst, usually if he's blocking something, he's just going to kill the thing that blocks him. And then you see down here, he's got an end of turn. If there are no limit counters on this card, you destroy it, and if you do, this card deals 2,000 damage to you. So I expect with these kind of high costs, we're probably going to see some kind of effect in CFC that modulates or can add to or boost up the number of limit counters that we see on these creatures. Then we have the Gate of the Silver Key. It is a addition for 1 black, and it just says you may pay 1 less to play judgment abilities. And then, so that's pretty interesting. We have to see how this kind of plays into the X. Like, do I say 2 and then really only have, like, do I say I'm paying 3 but then really only have to pay 2 but I still get 3 limit counters? Like, that interaction is going to be interesting and pretty important, so we're going to have to see. And then for 2 black and 2 colorless and banishing this card, your opponent can discard a card. So that's pretty expensive, but we'll have to see. In a sealed format, that could potentially be really, really important. Then we have, lastly, the Nameless Mist. It is a 1-drop spell chant. Look at your opponent's hand, choose a non-resonator card, they discard that card, put a +1/+1 counter on a resonator you control. So this is essentially like the opposite of Scorn of Dark Alice. So Scorn of Dark Alice specifically grabbed resonators, this specifically grabs non-resonators, but also gets a little bump to one of your creatures that's on board. So pretty interesting. All in all, this stuff is pretty cool. I'm excited to see kind of what is going on with this set. This set feels very balanced, in my opinion. It gets me very, very excited for Worlds. But let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and leave comments down below talking about what you think these cards are going to be good for. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe as always. And until next time, this is DMO73 signing off.